folks. Steve here. Welcome to this edition of Monday Morning Musings. We are wrapping up on the subject of the ruach, often thought to be equivalent with the breath of God. We went through that last time. I'm just going to wrap it up and make a couple of comments on the Hebrew word for heart, and then we're going to move on into the New Testament scriptures in the weeks ahead. Any invisible power in human beings in general can be called ruach. Sometimes anger is described as ruach, an invisible power moving even to anger. It can mean the invisible power of God, but it doesn't always have to be. It also refers to the breath that comes into a human being at birth. The breath of life is ruach, the invisible animating power that exists within a human soul, which means living creature. The invisible powers of nature are sometimes called ruach, like the wind. The wind is ruach. So you see that the similarity is invisible. Something invisible that can be experienced. It is not, and I'm going to repeat, it is not equivalent with nephesh. And that means I'll make it simpler. It is not a metaphor for soul. You have an invisible soul and you have an invisible spirit. And that translates over into the way a lot of Christians look at the New Testament. No. The ruach animates a living creature. It is not one and the same thing, and we should not combine the two. Humanity in totality is a living soul animated by ruach, life that comes from the gift of God, and that at death, the gift of the resurrection life of God. And one more thing, the heart. Now, we could do a whole session just on the heart and how ancient Semitic people viewed that organ. And it's just beyond the scope of this series. But I simply want to say this. The heart must also not be confused with the soul or the spirit. The heart has to do with possessing the innermost thoughts and feelings in a human being. The Hebrew word is leb, L-E-B, just leb. And when a writer is referring to the heart, that's what's being referred to. Sometimes they use the word bowels, my bowels, my inner feeling. It's almost like my inner psychology. So I'm a living soul, I'm a living nephesh because material and dirt have come together with the breath of God, and I'm sensate because I have heart, I have emotion, feelings. So we are more than Plato's invisible, immaterial, unchangeable, needing nothing, pure, uncompounded soul. We are human beings made up of material substance, animated by the ruach of God, and we have heart, emotional, feeling, and intellectual capacity. And the union of them all makes us human beings. My identity is not just in the spirit, and my identity is not just in the soul, and my identity is not just in my emotions. Please remember this. The greater The lesser, excuse me, is included the greater. And the greater is more than just the simple addition of the component parts. As Westerners, we are prone to dissect and dissect and dissect and bring down and bring down, and in the process of analysis, reality is lost. I'll give you a very simple example and wrap up this session. Look, water, 2 hydrogen atoms, 1 oxygen atom. Water, what's water? Well, it's 2 hydrogen atoms, and let's analyze it. And, well, but together, they become a completely different thing. They, 2 hydrogen atoms and an oxygen atom become water. Now, if we talk about hydrogen, 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 oxygen, 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 you miss the whole point. The point isn't the component parts. The point is, what do the component parts together create that's of value? The point is water. And it's the same thing with you and I as human beings. The issue isn't, well, I'm gonna do a variation of First Thessalonians. Well, I am a ruach who has a nephesh and who lives in a body. No, we are inseparable, and in the resurrection, all of my being is raised, and in redemption, all of what it means to be human is included. And that's why this topic is important. Redemption is more than getting your soul saved for heaven. Redemption is bigger, broader than that. If it's not assumed in Christ, it's not raised in resurrection. The good news is Jesus was a genuine human being. He wasn't a spirit being in a temporary body. And as he is in resurrection, so shall we be. See you next time.